Hello everyone and welcome back to the Miscreate Kings Vanguard channel, and today bringing to you another deck profile. This time is for Luard with the support from Premier Collection, which is the Mofessa we have here, as you can see. Now the whole deck actually kind of evolved ever since my last Luard list, which was the one I brought for ACQ, because of how the quality of Mofessa has kind of evolved the whole deck, because your whole deck kind of just revolves around just killing of first strike. Like, don't even need to think about what's going on after that, because of how high quality the first strike is if you can get the Ritual 10 off. I would say for now that Luard actually does have a few bad matchups, one of which is New Nectar. You kind of can't really keep up with their early game, and you know how it goes. Ezo, high rolling Ezo, so yeah. But generally, this is actually a really solid deck, depending on how you structure the whole deck, and depending on what the meta demands, I will show you some tanky versions that you can try in whatever environment it suits you. For my case, I'm currently playing in a quite a heavy New Nectar centric meta, so that's why I don't play certain cards. So yeah, I'll just go over with the main deck first. Grade 3s is still the same from my previous deck profile, which is the total of 4 Drag Hunt and 2 Drag 4. Now, I can understand if you want to run a higher grade 3 count. 7 will be a really good number, but it's really player choice. Because of given how high quality your first strike actually is with Professor, you generally kill by the first strike. And given the pace of premium, you generally don't last beyond the second strike or maybe third, unless you're playing against Greydora. And okay, that's another reason why you're running a higher grade 3 count, which is the Greydora matchup. It demands you to constantly rewrite, so that's why I'm running on around 6. 7 will be an ideal number if you really can find space for it, but I think 6 is around an ideal number for my case, so if you want to run 7, go ahead. Yep, that's it for the grade 3. Actually, it really haven't evolved much from my ACQ deck profile. Next is the 4 of deck. There's really not much to be explained. Your main win con. Before Premier Collection, I can actually close one eye and say you can play 3, given of how urgent you want to see Dark. You generally don't want to see after second strike, but given how quickly paced the meta is right now, you want to see this ASAP. That's why I can see. Okay, I can't really see why you'll be running anything lesser than 4, because of how urgently you want to see your Dark. So 4 it is. Next is I am still running the 3 of Blaster X. Same reasoning as last time, is a good rush card. If you want to put in Magha in place of this, is fine. The thing is, Magha has its own value. It allows you to see through the majority of your deck, which you can potentially dig through to see your Ezra's in the New Nectar matchup. But personally, I opted for this because of how guard efficient I would say the card is. You put this together with any V-Grade one, you can stop one lane from New Nectar. Okay, given how New Nectar actually works, it will go something like this: 30k power, 20 guard, around 40 power, 30k guard, then Vanguard swings, then followed by something else, maybe a Trading Rose, then Gladiolus, followed by another Trading Rose. That's generally how I see New Nectar's battle plan goes around, unless they play the grade 0 starter, which withstands something in the same column, then that's a different story. So this kind of helps you in shutting down one lane with another V grade one, but the thing is, I'm actually not really sure how I feel with this card right now, honestly. It's really interchangeable with Magha. It's really up to you, honestly speaking. You can try Blaster Dark if you want to, but in the NM matchup, if you want to get full value out of this, you have to go first, because they only spawn 1 token out of the grade 1, and you can just snipe that off. Anything past that, they will have like the Sunlight Garden, which double the token, but then your Blaster Dark is effectively dead. So that's why I'm running only 3x. So this is very interchangeable, depending on how you choose to run the deck. Next is a newcomer to the deck, which is the 3 copies of Fortla. On place Vanguard or Vanguard Circle, you can counter blast 1, you search your deck for 2 trigger units, and you can call it to separate Vanguard Circle. Doesn't have to be open, so you can overload the mains that you want, that you don't mind losing, because you want to turbo into the Ritual 10 ASAP given how quickly paced the meta is. That's why I am running 3 of these. Okay, This can be kind of redundant in the NN matchup because of the power base. If you go second, you ride this, you're kind of screwed. They can call a 8k together 5k mixed magic. You can regard 10 for that. So one thing to note, depending on what matchup you're playing against, if you're playing in any like slower decks, maybe given DI, Victor, these are the stronger but slower decks, then this is actually really effective. Next, I'm going on to go the great ones. There's really nothing much to be said here. There's only 4 Ezra's, free PG. For the main, free tutor is your equivalent of a token in the NM matchup. So if you see this, you kind of have a bit of an edge against them. Next is the 3 Charon. I would bump it up to 4 if I could get my hands on the last one because of how good this card is right now. The thing is, if opponent's gonna want to honor you, you want your counterblast to stay alive as much as possible. Given you have to reserve one for Dark plays, and this kind of refunds you the cost. So I would put this up to 4 if I could get my hands on it. I will probably drop this one of Abyssal if I can get my hands on it. So 3 of it is. The next is the 3 of Sword Breaker. Same case as the main, it's a free tutor, it's a free +1. Against the Arch matchup, it's a damage deny, if you can write it off, and yeah. One Abyssal, basically, as I mentioned, would become a 4th card if I can get my hands on it. 1 Dialard, 1 is fine, really healthy number I would say. And 1 Vicro, a free counter charger effectively. So this is effectively the whole Great One lineup. It actually haven't evolved as much since my last Luard list, given of how I'm really comfortable with my current list. But if there are some things you actually can disagree on, if you want to run a 7 grade 3 is fine. You can always drop maybe the 1 Abyssal for it, or maybe one of the Vicro to run a 7 grade 3 if you really want to. Another grade 3 you can actually try running is the Dark Matter Dragon, but it's kind of highly discouraged because Dark Matter guarantees you the Dark Die if you can get it off, but if you miss right, that's another story. If you miss right, your whole deck is effectively dead. Your Dark Die turns off, your Ezra's, everything else turns off. Not really. Only these 2 turns off, but you kind of lose the aggression of the whole deck because this is your main win con, and if you lose it, yeah, you're kind of dead the game, I guess. So that's about it for the great ones. Triggers, okay, I will recommend something for triggers if you really don't like this list. Currently I'm running on 3 Abyssal. 4 of this crit basically is a GB1 like any of the old crit for Crojet, all those types. When the Vanguard attacks move into soul, you can give plus 10k draw on GB1. And 1 Trumpeter, just a random flex spot, whatever. 4 Raven and 4 10k heals. Okay, now, I'm running this lineup with all these V triggers is because you kind of want to see the V triggers in the NM matchup because it's kind of like Vanguard, so your triggers power actually does matter. You get a 5 trigger, you're kind of fucked in this matchup. But if the NM meta kind of tones down a bit, like, you can always like maybe cut this, cut something here, maybe for this stand trigger. I actually tested it at one point, I really liked it. When this unit plays from hand, it gains the effect the next time it's being retired for the cost of a ritual ability. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure if it's ritual ability, but you may, when you retire, you can look at the top 2, you can add 1 to hand, 1 to drop. Okay, if you want to play a higher stand count, I would say this is the better stand over the Magician in this current meta. Because the Magician sends itself back to deck, which isn't what you really want to be doing. You want to be turboing your ritual count as soon as possible. And this kind of helps you with that. It stays in the drop zone, it's a stand, and it could potentially dig out a Dark Die for you. It's 2 opportunities to open into a Dark Die if you really need to see it. So it's really up to you. I would say this is a good idea, but given how quickly paced NN is, you kind of do want to drop this idea for now. But if you're playing a more heavy Victor or DI Gredora matchup, Okay, maybe not really Kritora, but yeah, you get the idea. Any slow matchup, it'll be good. As for the G zone, which I would say hasn't really evolved that much, just a few changes and a very personal choice. Oh yeah, starter still running full power on right draw one, very good. Okay, first off is the new boss monster that is Drag Principal Mofessa. For those who doesn't know his skill X skill once per turn, counter blast one, choose two of your rear guards, retire it, and you draw two. And for this turn, your trigger units in your drop zone are regarded as great ones and it contributes to ritual. So yeah. And his next continuous skill, which is the main what's it called? Main cherry on top of the cake for the deck. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, but yeah. Richard 10, for this turn, your whole front row will get plus 15k at 1 crit, and if opponent were to guard, he has to guard 2 cards simultaneously. So it's the same wording as Musashi or Battle Fighter. Now, this is actually really effective, but unless your opponent checks the V defensive trigger, you are kind of screwed for that turn. But yeah, this card is generally game winning on first strike. You go into second one if you have to use the first one to actually farm. A third one is for the Greydora matchup. So if Greydora is actually very potent in the meta, 3 is a very healthy number. If not, I can excuse you for playing 2 because you generally deck out by the second one. So that's something to actually note because you'll be playing Dagda, you'll be calling out 2, then restand, you're gonna attack, you call out 2 again. And you have to remember that Greydora actually doesn't let you call anything, so your deck you won't be seeing through your deck that quickly, so you can actually kind of abuse the third one if you actually got a chance to. That's why I'm running 3 of this Mofessa. Next is 1 Ogma. This is actually basically just a flip fodder. If you're given an opportunity to use it, I mean like sure, maybe in some Sprite Brother matchup it'll be good. To Drag Driver, I know a lot of people gonna flame me for playing this, but it's basically there because you're running a Drag Hard base. If you can't retire anything, maybe against a Dragon Empire deck, they just bot wipe you with the new Progenitor Dragon. You can always use this to kind of recover that one turn if you're not ready for Mofessa. Next is a very questionable choice, which is the 3 Drag Abyss. Okay, Drag Abyss as of now it serves 2 purposes. 1, if you are not ready to Mofessa and you want to go for a more farm turn, you can use the first pack. The second one is if you are only at a point whereby you're gonna use it for the plus 10k when the opponent has 5 damage and Mofessa maybe doesn't make sense, then yes, that's where you go for a second Abyss. Okay, and going on to, I'm gonna just emphasize on the second point. If you are that late into the game, do you really want to Soul Blast 1 to flip and tilt out 2 great ones from your deck, which you're gonna have to preserve for Dark Dust after you push back with Dragheart? So that's one thing to consider when you're going to second Abyss and playing a 4th copy of Abyss for the flip skill. So that's why I'm only running on 3. 4 is fine if you can find room for it. Maybe you can drop the Ogma for it. Yep. So that's about it for now. Next is the 2 copies of Phantom Blaster. Diablo is a very good win condition in the Victor matchup. If you see them with less than 2 rear guards, they have like Gosachi with resist, you can't target that. Just go for this. Their hand size is generally fucking huge, like 10, 12, 13, like easily. With this, it actually kind of, you shut their whole 10 to 13 hand size into like what, 3 to 4, which can guard, maximum 4 to guard your this one attack. So this is actually a really potent card in the matchup. You will see that overcommitting your G-Guard or like your previous turns, you can go into this and punish them for kill. Next, Giga haven't really evolved much to Plot Maker. Plot Maker now is actually really potent, especially in the Ishita matchup. If they go into the new Ichikishima, you are not able to, your auto skills don't proc, so your negates don't proc, your this 3 Gigas doesn't proc, but he does. He is a continuous skill, so it's still a free 25k shield. Next is one Dark Veil, big ass shield. Bronak if you're breaking, Jellido if you want to get rid of some great ones on the board to draw one. So yeah, that's about it for deck profile today. I will be doing a Luard versus NM matchup later on today, so you can look forward to that. So that's all for now. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.